Hey guys, Marshall from Limited Resources, and we're doing a little draft here. In theory. Alright, there we go. This got a little weird. Yeah, looks like Magic Online's lagging a bit here, but I think we've got it now. Alright. Ooh, some stuff. Alright, so we got a stomping ground in our pack here, which is, it's replacing a gate in this case. Let's see how much it's going for. I usually just take any of those. Yeah, we're going to have to take it. So it's worth over 4 tickets. It's a big chunk of the entry fee for the event. There's some good cards here, though. Boros Battle Shapers are pretty much just a bomb. Zerta Druid and Krasis Incubation are both really good, too. But I'm going to take the 4-ticket rare, and I'm going to keep my eye open anyway. All right, Tristani Summoner. I consider that a full bomb. I really do think that it does everything that I want a bomb to do. It finishes a game that I'm winning. It gets me back into a game that I'm behind in and prevents me from dying. And on top of it, it usually will take a game where I'm at parity and put me ahead in some level. So that's pretty much exactly what I want out of a bomb, and so I'm going to go ahead and take it. You know, I don't take 7 mana cards lightly or easily, but when they do this, they're worth it. Okay, this pack's got kind of a lot going on. Spike Jester is pretty darn good. Warped Physique is good. Rubberbolt Maka, Windrake, and Armored Wolf Rider are all cards that I like quite a bit. Unfortunately, the gate is an off-color gate. I mean, it's unlikely that we'll play. I mean, this would basically be a concession to play in 5 colors if we took it. And I'm not really quite ready to go down that path yet. Yeah, so my decision is kind of, I think, somewhere on the lines of like I can take a solid 5-drop in my colors, but I think that both Rubberbolt Maka and Windrake are better cards. Same with Spike Jester, but that one's again 2 different colors than I'm in. Rubberbolt Maka is 1 color different than I'm in. And none of these picks really make me particularly happy, to be honest. I'm actually just going to take the Warped Physique and kind of see where I go. I really don't know where this deck is going to go yet, and I want to stay open for the time being. All right, we'll notice that there's already a Guildgate missing from this pack. Nothing like the Guildgates leaving already. I guess we should start just expecting that, though, at this point. And this pack sucks. That's why the Guildgate's already gone. The Steeple Rock is probably our best option. Otherwise, I can take a Selesnya Cluestone, or even like an Izzet Cluestone. I'm just going to take this Selesnya Cluestone, though. All right, here's an Izzet Guildgate. Wow, a Beetleform Mage. That should not be there. I'm going to take it. And we'll see where we go from here. If we end up in Bant in blue, white, green, that's fine. Yeah, that could be fine. We've got the Cluestone already. The Warped Physique doesn't help with that, but that's okay. Yeah, I'm not really sure. A lot of my drafts have started off this way. I usually settle into something, but this set's weird. It's definitely not your average set in that way. Probably just going to take a Steeple Rock here. There's really nothing amazing. The Izzet Cluestone catches my eye. I don't like Riot Piker very much. Certainly don't like Liev Decree. Blaze Commando's just okay. No need to go into another color for a Blaze Commando. I think Steeple Rock's probably a little better anyway. So we'll take the Steeple Rock. And yeah, we'll just kind of keep feeling it out here. Being in Bant is pretty decent. I'd be fine in those colors. All right, I'm just going to pick up a second Cluestone here. It looks like it's going to be, we'll have both colors of Cluestones for us here. And I'm pretty happy about that. Not much here. I think Maze Abomination is probably the best card, but I'm just going to take this Opal Lake Gatekeepers over this 3rd Cluestone. If we get lucky and pick up some gates, you never know, we might run it. Sure, we wield a Windrake. I mean, Sin Collector is probably, they're about on par with each other, but we're probably going to be in blue, green, white. So Windrake's a totally fine pickup. Naturally, we're low on 2s. This happens pretty often, at least for me, coming out of the Dragon's Maze pack. It's something that I pay attention to, but yeah, it's annoying. I prefer to take as many good 2s as I can, but sometimes you don't get them. Nothing. This whole pack is a bunch of nothing. Yeah, none of these cards do anything. I guess this one we can potentially cast, so I'll take it, but whatever. We're not playing that. I like the 2 clue stones here. It means we can pick up a 6 drop, another 5, and keep our 7 drop and still feel like we can cast them in a reasonable time frame. Things we need to pick up, well, just more cards. I mean, we just need more 2s, 4s, 3s, 1s, removal, gates, all of it. So, still early. All right, well, here's a Guildgate. I'm going to take it. It's off color, kind of. But, I mean, maybe we splash this at some point. You never know. We've got some splash options if we want off of our gates. I don't really want to run clue stones to try to splash. But, all right, I'm going to run this clue stone, though. And this one, too. I'm not going to run them, but I'm going to pick them. And what these do is they open up the door. You know, if we wanted to splash red at this point, we would have... We could play the off-color clue stone, or the on-color clue stones we could ditch, and we could play Is It and Gruul clue stone along with the Stomping Ground and have 3 sources of red to go along with our normal colors. Okay, Alms Beast is awesome, but really nowhere near where we're at here. Syndic of Tithes definitely catches my eye. So does Croconura, and so does Arrows of Justice. I think Croconura is the card I'd like the most, but I want to take either the 2-drop or the removal spell here over the Croconura, I think. That might not actually even be true. I might just take the Croconura here. Because I'm only gonna be playing 2 of these clue stones. I don't know which ones yet, but only 2. Yeah, I'm just gonna take the Croconura here. Signal the Clans, Nimbus Swimmer, Zertos Swine, another Croconura. These are interesting choices. Nimbus Swimmer, Zertos Swine, and Croconura, all powerful, sweet spells. Zertos Swine's really good. Nimbus Swimmer is a card I like a lot, especially with a couple of clue stones, but I'm just going to take another Croconura. I just kind of feel like as many of those as I can get is how many I want. This pack doesn't have a ton for us. Keymaster Rogue Metropolis Sprite. Angelic Edict. I'm going to take the Edict. It's removal. Yeah, it's not the best removal you can get, but it works. Unfortunately, a bunch of 3-drops coming to us, but the good news is they're good. There's a Denrova Horror here. If these were the black versions of these, then we can consider splashing that, because we've also got the Dimir Guildgate, but they're not, so we're just going to take a Slaughterhorn here. Okay, now I can pick up the Syndic of Tides. I mean, I can take a Drakewing Krasis. I can't take this Sepulchral Primordial, unfortunately, because we're just nowhere near black. But I'm just going to take Syndic here. We need 2-drops really bad. I mean, I'd love to play the Krasis here, but I also don't want to do nothing until turn 3 every game, so that's a consideration. Warp Physique, unlikely to make the cut at this point, but I'm just leaving it up in case we do pick up more fixing or more cards that we want to splash. Alright, there's a Fathom Mage. Yeah, I'm going to take the Fathom Mage. Card I really liked at the beginning of Gatecrash. Didn't really like it near the end, even though I love Simic. And now I like it again, because I think the format's slow enough that I can actually cast some creatures and get some value. Alright, this is a nice pickup. Prophetic Prism. Oh, man, it makes every deck better. I love that card. I loved it in Gatecrash, and in full block, I love it all the much more. It's really that good. Dutiful Thrill or Cut a Sin. Oh, I could just take a Burst of Strength. Yeah, I'll just take it. That might actually make the cut, so I should take it. Gargoyle or Court Street Denizen. We don't have too many white cards. I think I just would rather have another flyer here. It's also easy to cast, which is nice. All right, I'm going to cut these. So that's what our deck looks like right now. It's not too bad, but it's also not too great. I can't remember the last time I had like a really sweet deck in this format. I've done some sweet things, but like whenever I'm building my deck, I just never feel like I have all my bases covered. Like I feel like getting the fixing is really difficult right now. I mean, people just take gates so early that it's just like you don't really get to have good fixing. And then if you go against that and you go for like a solid 2-color build, your power level is just not really there. I mean, I would prefer to play that deck, but still, the power level is not great on those. More nothing. I could take a Spell Rupture. Yeah, take a Spell Rupture. That's more likely to make the cut than those other cards. I'm just going to take a Dimir Key Rune. I could take a Realm Right, but that card I just don't think is worth a card slot in the deck. I'm going to take this Key Rune and hide it, but I will remember that we do have that sitting there. Whatever. Yeah, I'll take that too. We can decide between the Cluestone and the Key Rune. It kind of depends on our creature count and what we feel like we need. We're definitely going to run this Cluestone because it gets us to this mana, and it also has both of its colors in it, so it kind of makes that easier. Purge. Last pick seems a little late for a Purge. Not that it's a great card, but it's a little late. I'm just going to hide that for now, but we're going to, because this is what we're going to play, one or the other, but we're not going to play both. So 2 mana rocks on 3 seems fine to me. I like the double Croconura. Ooh, Sphinx of the Chimes and a Void Wielder. There's also a Frostburn weird in this pack. And an Azorius Charm and a Gatecreeper Vine. So this is actually a very stacked pack. I think we just need to take the bomb here, though. 5/6 flying a turn early thanks to a Cluestone or something is pretty impressive. Void Wielder's my sentimental pick here, but I'm going to take the bomby 6-drop and just kind of roll with that. Axebane Guardian, Keening Apparition, Centaur Healer. Normally I think I'd just take the Keening Apparition because I want more 2s, but Centaur Healer is a really sweet 3. It kind of makes up for not casting a 2 sometimes, and I'm going to take it here. I just think it's powerful enough to warrant being picked. I also like it that it's 3, so it can get these Croconuras evolved even a bit further. You know, same thing with Fathom Mage. Yeah, we got to figure out how we're going to stay alive and how we're going to fix our mana, but once we do, watch out. Well, there's a mythic rare Necropolis region, but unfortunately it's just too far away from our colors, and unfortunately, again, for us, this pack is just very, very miserable. Even the gate doesn't work for us. You're going to take a Judge's Familiar or a Swift Justice here. I think I'm just going to take the Swift Justice in the end. Pretty miserable, to be honest. I mean, that is not an ideal pickup here. These packs have been a little bit weird. Kind of hope to get better than that. All right, this is a good pack. There's a Golgari Decoy there, a Towering Indrik, a Courser's Accord, and a Dryad Militant. There's also an Azorius Guildgate, which we could really, really use. Yep, I'm just going to take the Guildgate. I hate passing a bunch of decent cards, but I feel like our fixing is in pretty dire straits here, and we really need to make up some ground there. Asperia Skywatch seems fine here. Otherwise, we're taking an Aerial Predation for the board. I'll take the Skywatch. It's a good card. There's an Izzet Guildgate, but we're not in the colors that really needs it. There's a Rogue's Passage, but I don't think we want that. I mean, obviously there's an Augur Spree, which is what I want, but can't cast it. So I'm just going to take the Syncopate here. I like it better than Fall of the Gavel. And I think I like it better than Armory Guard too here. I think we're probably going to play that. Another Swift Justice. Jeez, Dead Reveler. There's a Stealer though, so we'll take the Stealer. We're still trying to make playables here. Barely any fixing again. The last few decks I've had have been like this. Just like super mediocre, crappy fixing, not a lot going on. Like, it's lame. Rootborn Defenses can be a total blowout, but we probably just want Centaur's Herald here. I kind of like having something to do on the early turns. Paralyzing Grasp or Inspiration. I love Inspiration, but I'm going to take the Grasp here because it does approximate removal, and we need that. Don't think we're going to play Elmer, so I'll just take an Electrickery. None of these really do anything. I guess Trestle Troll's kind of annoying. Jeez, Pursuit. Alright, well, we made a Magic deck. I don't think it's very good per se, but it is a deck. We do have some fixing, at least thanks to this prism, a Guildgate, and the 2 clue stones. If we ever draw a prism, our mana should be pretty golden. This might be an 18 land deck as well. We've got a lot of things to do with our mana. No. Nope, not you either. Yes. And I think I just want the clue stone over the key rune, though. I might have to rethink that. This is going to be in the deck. No. Yeah. Right. I don't think we want Stealer of Secrets. There's our weird curve deck. It looks like a gun. We need to cut a couple of cards here, though. At least one. I could see cutting Swift Justice here. How about this? 17 lands, 2 key runes, a bunch of 3-drops, and then like a flat curve out. It's probably correct. Let's play this. So you say 644. Let's try that. So that's going to give us 6, 7, 8 green sources, which is plenty. 7, 8 blue, which is again plenty. And 6 white? That's actually not too bad. That turned out a little better than I thought. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, let's give it a shot. Let's see what this thing can do.